We're here at Summer NAMM 2016 on the Tracktion booth with Woody, who's got a hot rod of an audio interface. Woody.
That's actually a really good description, the hot rod. We're using that in our marketing.
Okay.
Yeah, this is our copper reference I/O. It really is hot rod mentality in that we chose the best components we could possibly get for every part of the design. So input path is flagship AKM chips. We don't just use one of the chips. Having worked with AKM to develop what the best AKM solution would be, it is actually running two of their chips where we sum stereo into quad and then back to stereo. By doing so, you gain an extra 3 dB of dynamic range.
Okay.
So it's, again, it's a hot rod culture. It's not a cheap way of doing A to D, but it's the best way to get the very best signal out of the A to D path. Output path is the king of D2As, the ESS Sabre reference DAC.
Right.
Custom grown TCXO Fox crystals, which take 18 weeks for them to literally custom grow, which is a pain in the arse for when you're trying to build products. But
sure.
Yeah. So literally every part of the design is what is the best we could do for it. Mix into that, the fact that we drank a lot of beer, and we have a good friend Mike Soldano in Seattle as well. And the idea of building a tube stage into the I/O came into play. So Mike Soldano designed us a really clean, simple tube stage. So the idea being that if you come into the box and you go through the regular preamps on the front, they're that semiconductor, very, very transparent, very sort of high gain, low noise, really, really nice, clean preamps. You can go in through that, keep the signal super clean, go through all the silicon in the box and pristine signal flow. Or if you want to add some coloration, you can go up via the tube stage and add varying degrees of tube coloration. Like I say, the circuit is extremely simple, so all you're going to be adding is that particular tube's coloration.
Okay.
And then you can pull the tubes out and put different tubes in, of course. They're 12AX7s, so you can impart lots of different character to the signal. So if you have a really bright microphone you want to give some more character to, you can. If you have a synth that you want to really dirty up, you can do that too. So.
And how many inputs is it then, this thing?
It's 2 in, 2 out.
Okay.
And it's designed to be integrated into a bigger system. This is boutique, high-end, high-cost, handmade by us. So realistically, someone who's looking at buying this will probably have a Pro Tools rig. So we've got digital I/O on this, AES EBU, SpeedIF on the back, word clock. So we really thought about how we could integrate this into a bigger rig and have this as like your boutique input, boutique mastering grade stereo mix output. The front panel volume control on this can be fully defeatable, so you can route through to a much nicer monitor controller, dedicated monitor controller. So we really thought about how it can be integrated into a bigger system. If you are the really discerning customer who has a small rig at home but just wants extremely high end, of course you can run it just by itself. We have a zero latency monitoring path on the front, so if you're recording just with this, then you can do it zero latency. So yeah, it's a really, really high end, really nice boutique, but it's the box we wanted to build for ourselves, literally.
And it's obviously got this attractive copper livery going on.
Yeah,
it's a delight.
That was the idea of the mechanical guys, because given this volume, I mean, the big manufacturers, and I've worked for the big manufacturers, if you're building a high volume product, you can afford to go out and do some really nice tooling to do some really good extrusion. So even like a nice Focusrite box that only costs $300 or $400 has a lovely extruded aluminum case. And to be honest, I mean, we can't afford to do big tooling. So when we were talking to the mechanical guys, we said, for a boutique nice piece, we want something esoteric, something high value, striking, that doesn't require tooling. And the guys came out and said, well, we should just use copper for it. And we were like, oh, that's a really good idea. So yeah, it's, the idea of the heavy gauge copper lid allows us to literally use manpower to build the tools. All the metal in this is press bent, by people. None of this is like big machine tools. The cutouts are all done by giant laser punch machine, but
Okay.
it's all low run, hand built. Again, hot rod culture, right?
Yeah.
These are actual workmen in Redmond, Washington, building every part of this. So yeah.
Cool. Well, how much is it going to cost, or how much does it cost?
It's going to be in the region of about $5,000.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so it's certainly not cheap, but again, low volume, high cost. The product ships in a custom Pelican case, so it's nothing about this product is mass produced at all. It's the other end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
But literally, every component down to all of the capacitors, resistors, everything in this has been chosen to maintain that very, very high quality. So, from an investment perspective, it's about the best I/O that'll be able to be built for at least numerous years. I have the A to D and D to A technology doesn't change very often at all.
Sure.
So,
And is it available now?
in about a month, yeah, we're
Right.
doing the final. I had to buy a very expensive audio precision test and measurement machine
Oh, of course, yeah.
to do all the final round of testing. So we're literally at the point of tweaking, gain settings, cap and resistor values to just squash that noise floor as far down as possible and get the dynamic range up as high as it possibly can be. So we'll be done with it probably within the next 4 to 6 weeks. We'll be done, and then it'll be a case of rolling out to key press and key users to get some buzz about the unit.
Great. Okay. Thanks a lot, Woody.
Yeah, thank you.